Peter Jones, you're Chief Executive Officer of the Institute of Internal Auditors Australia. Thank you for jumping into the seat. The Institute, what does it do? Tell us a bit about it. We don't seem to hear of it often.
Okay, well, the Institute, its mission is to advance the practice and profession of internal auditing. And it does that in a number of ways. One of the first ways is through advocacy, where we promote the Institute and what it does and what its members do to government, to regulators, and also to other influential groups, such as the ASX Corporate Governance Council, for example. So advocacy is one element. We also support our members through education and training. I liken an internal audit function to a family doctor in an analogous way. Just as a doctor assists a person, diagnoses their condition and supports them, I see internal audit doing exactly the same sort of function for corporations. It will diagnose the health of an organisation. It will make recommendations on how the organisation can be improved, whether it's through efficiencies, whether it's through identifying risks and addressing those risks, or whether it's just providing assurance that everything is going well.
So is that what the best internal auditors are actually looking for? Because they've got that helicopter view of a company, don't they?
They do. And it's not so much what internal auditors want, it's really what the boards want of their internal auditors. They are reliant on internal audit to provide that helicopter view right from that has the perspective right across the organisation of how it's actually performing.
Could you expand a bit on the significance to a company of that overarching company-wide perspective that an internal auditor does have?
Sure. Look, in a lot of companies and what happens in a lot of organisations and institutions is that silo mentalities can occur, and people can operate within their silos and think that they're doing quite well. Internal audit, on the other hand, has that helicopter view. They see all of the silos, they see all of the process that the organisation is going through from a product perspective, and is able to identify efficiencies. It's able to identify where practices are going well, and they can also identify problems and report those problems up.
So when an internal auditor is at the peak of their game, what precisely are the sort of things they're doing right?
At the peak of their profession, they have excellent communication skills and can communicate with management and can communicate with their audit committees on the effectiveness of the organisation. They've also got a range of technical skills, and that's where the Institute comes in to help them provide that technical knowledge and support. They've also got generally very good networks, and they can build on those networks again by attending the sorts of conferences and other training that the Institute provides.
And I guess effectively an internal auditor is a company's binoculars on the future.
Absolutely. A big requirement of internal audit is to assist in the strategic planning process and to alert management early on if the organisation is straying from its strategies and purpose.
So it's not just a monitoring role, it's an advisory role as well.
Absolutely, it's an advisory role, it's a consulting role to management. In fact, one of the challenges of very good internal audit practices is that they're constantly being asked by areas of management within their organisations to come and work with them. And clearly time and resources are constrained, but it does send a very good message that internal audit is being sought after as a trusted advisor to assist and work with the organisation.
And with changes in technology and business only speeding up, can you see the role of internal audit becoming increasingly important?
Absolutely, and internal audit is increasingly being asked to advise in major projects and planning. it's auditing many projects, and clearly with the cost of technology these days and major IT infrastructure changes and developments, they cost massive amounts of money and resources. And internal audit's able to provide that assurance to management that things are going well.
And so does that place added pressure in terms of training for an internal auditor?
It does, and we are constantly looking at the sorts of training products that we have available. We're constantly going to senior groups of our membership, asking what sorts of emerging issues, what sorts of training and support that they need, and we're endeavouring to respond to those.
And so how does the program for the year ahead for the Institute look?
Very, very busy. Look. I'm pleased to say that in 2017 we will be hosting the international conference, the worldwide international conference, and we're expecting over 2,000 people to come to that. We've already entered into the planning stages of that, and we're looking at also introducing additional conferences and forums later on this year, probably in the healthcare space.
Peter Jones, good of you to share those valuable insights.
Thanks, Adrian.